just respond. I'm appearing for WhatsApp. My learned friend is for Facebook. Now, this litigation is not WhatsApp centric. Because if you talk, my learned friend has made it WhatsApp centric. If you talk of privacy policy, it applies across the board to all platforms. Maybe Facebook, maybe Google, maybe Twitter, every platform it will apply. So it has implications not for WhatsApp. It has implications throughout the world on all social platforms. That's number one, Manas. And all intermediaries, it has implications. That's number one. Number two, Manas, the High Court in this matter decided that the writ does not lie. Well, that's an issue that your lordships will decide at the appropriate time. Third, my learned friend talked about the European law. Manas, European law is a unique law applicable to Europe. For the rest of the world, Manas, WhatsApp follows laws of all other jurisdictions in the rest of the world, whether it's Australia, Canada, United States, and Japan. For all those jurisdictions, the present law is applicable. So my learned friend is now saying, because it is discriminatory for Europeans, we should follow the European standard, and we should not follow the US, the Australian, the Canadian, the Japanese standard. Well, that's something that your lordships will have to decide.
Mr. Sibbal,
our job.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Mr. Sibbal, are we correct in understanding that you have different standards? Obviously, you have now said so.
Yes.
Indian WhatsApp users are the highest in the world. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So, the advantage and disadvantage for the largest group of users is what is perceived here, apart from the maintainability aspect that you have pointed out.
No. The issue is not that, Manas, whether they are the largest user or not.
No.
It will depend on jurisdiction. Manas, the point is, it depends on jurisdiction.
We'll discuss.
The point that I'm making is, Manas, it ultimately depends on the law framed by Parliament. If the European Parliament frames the law, Manas, the jurisdictions will have to follow that. If the US Senate frames a law, that will have to be followed. If Australia frames. So what my learned friend is saying to your lordships is the following, that they, and Manas, kindly don't look at it from the point of view of one aspect also, Manas.
No, I'm sure there are many.
Yeah, now kindly look at it from this point of view. This has global repercussions. If we are the largest users, it has global repercussions. And if we are the largest users, it depends on the kind of investment that this country is going to get into. If you have a law that restricts through a judicial determination certain policies, Manas, you may not get the investment. So it has commercial implications. It has investment implications. It has free speech implications. It has privacy implications, and it has implications that we should. Now there should be a judicial dicta that we should follow the European law and not laws all over.
One is not saying that,
but at the same time,
of data.
At the same,
that's right. So, Manas, there's a commercial aspect to it. So, Manas, there are.
At the same time, if you go through the judgment of the Delhi High Court,
yes,
direction was given actually.
Yes.
A direction was given at page number 15.
Yes.
You can see an order was issued that the users who opt to remain in WhatsApp are concerned, and up to 25/10/9/2016, that shall not be shared with the.
Yes, we have complied with that. Complied.
So
we have complied with that.
It cannot be said that that was not entertained or.
No, we've complied.
If it could not have been maintained, where's the question of issuing
No,
such
I'm saying High Court decided. I'm not, Manas, I'm not.
High Court.
I'm not saying, Manas, that your lordships will be inhibited by that technicality. I'm saying issues of far-reaching importance.
There are two choices.
Yes.
In the light of the observation made, the submission made by the solicitor. One is to consider posting it in January.
Yes.
Which means this will give the legislature ample time to bring in a law. What are we here trying to, is it establishing a point or securing the rights of the users? Now, if the legislature is going to come forward with a comprehensive law, which may be a solution to all the problems, we need not be breaking our heads to, establish the point in law as such. If there is no likelihood of, that's, I think, a reasonable time we are giving. We are putting it, say, somewhere in the second week of January. The other is to put it at the earliest, which can be in the second week of November, and proceed to hear the matter.
So may I respond to that? So first and foremost, I don't have a problem if the matter is fixed in the second week of January, but it ought to be, I can only request, it ought to be on the understanding that there will be a final hearing on that particular date. Because it can't be that in January, then we are again for directions as to another 3 months.
Either there
Yes.
is a law or
Yes,
there-
either there is a
either
law.
there is a law
Yes.
or we will begin hearing.
Yes,
Or there is
because
That's what you're saying,
the
you.
burden of our song is also until a law, what should be the norm required? No, that is ultimately because how can we prevent Parliament from or whoever, whichever the appropriate legislature is from making a law, and that can always be amended because there will be an element of experimentation. So I have no problem with 15 January, but I will only request that then let it be on in 15 January, whatever date or thereabouts, fixed for final hearing. We will file our written arguments before that.
All pleadings
Yes,
to be
yes.
considered, we'll go on with the case.
Yes, I agree.
But my stand is clear. My stand is clear. Howsoever big a multinational is, if you are operating in India, you have to comply with the laws of India, and you have to treat Indian
said no?
citizens with equal degree of privacy which you are treating others.
That's true.
Not the